if I'm correct, I should be able to see it from this end. And if I'm... What if I go here? There you are. Okay. Neat. Totally not terrifying at all to be doing my first podcast live. But nope. There I am in real time. I'll show the camera just for fun. Welcome myself. I didn't exactly prepare topics for today's episode because why not? Although I do have topics for episodes, and I was planning on just recording this as is. So I will give it moments. I like how it says you're an owner. Yes, I'm aware I'm an owner. Thank you, Studio Live Control Panel. And I need the chat doc. Yes, I think that's the chat doc. What's happening on the live end? Oh, OBS. I'm aware of the bite rate problem. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, though. Thank you, OBS and YouTube. I need a stronger setup. I'm aware. Thank you. It's why I'm not doing this very often. And reset the chat panel there. And mess around with the messages, because I've never done any of this before. I have some background in some areas, but not all of it. Yes, I will learn more. Thank you, YouTube. And will that go away now? Let's see. Trying to pick through the brain gunk I have to come up with an idea for the topics today, because I don't have a lot. I could discuss the same things I've been discussing the prior weeks. I could discuss why we're here. Could discuss what I'm learning as I'm experiencing the OBS to YouTube live setting for the very first time. It's interesting. I'll give it that. And I told you to default to live messages. Thank you. Yes. I decided to wear makeup today, which is not something I do very often because I'm wearing a blue and one of my favorite dresses that are blue, so I'm just like, makeup, because it's a special day, and why not? There's no reason not to. I have it. Doesn't get used very often. So blue. Hopefully to match the blue of the dress. Let's see. Assuming it runs normally in the background, I'm just gonna check out YouTube Studio real quick and see if there's something it can recommend me that it'll stop flashing warnings at me. Because if it can't do that, it doesn't deserve my time, and I'm ignoring it. If it can't give me steps, then buzz off. If you are in the live, feel free to comment with what you're up to today, and I would probably reply to that because we're here together in real live time. Real live time? Yeah, those are words. I used those words. Those are definitely words. I promise those are words. Real live time. Yep. I stand by what I said. And now I'm going to have to do this backwards because, thinking out loud. There's like a whole step-by-step process I do to like get the videos and like podcast episodes up, and it's fun. Might have to do it backwards in a way for this, because oh hey, the chat, come back, chat. Man, computer is not a fan of all of the things it needs to do, and I'm not even sure it's the computer. It's usually OBS, I have noticed. Most of the time it can handle it. OBS, for some reason, not good at everything. Just it's not. Yeah, I might have to do some more research when it comes to programs and stuff out there. All experience is good experience, though. At the end of the experience day. There you are. Was that really so hard? You silly program. I will get much amusement later on when actually viewing this episode and seeing just from like a outside perspective of like the frustration of dealing with technology at its greatest. Oh, and by the way, just a little interesting fact while doing my makeup for this, I stabbed myself in the eye on accident while applying mascara. And it still hurts. It hurts. I'm upset. Stabbing yourself in the eye with mascara is a pain I don't wish upon anybody. My eyes, I'm not sure, have stopped watering. This one did it, and then immediately after, the other eyeball was watering, and I'm like, okay, this is hell. So this is what hell feels like, because I don't know how to make this stop, and I have makeup everywhere else, and I don't want to have to reapply it, which ended up happening anyway. Okay, so maybe that was something OBS warned me about. It was like, bypass the recommendation or whatever for YouTube. And I was like, yeah, sure, it's your guys' recommendation for the computer, right? Well, here we are. I learned why. Open widget. Okay. I'm aware. That's fine, Zoom. We don't really need you. You. Go away. Yes. Why is Zoom running in the background on my computer? Zoom should not be running in the background on my computer. You have access to my microphone. You have no reason to be running in the background. I'm so glad I have a microphone kill switch. I can just boop. No more hearing me. Goodbye. Same with the camera. Boop. No more seeing me. Goodbye. Oh, God. I am only accessing Zoom from a browser now, if I can. Wow, that's neat. And also I'm changing its permissions because that's crazy. That has no permission, or it should have absolutely no permission to be accessing. Privacy concerns. I have many. Oh hey, I don't need the chat doc because my chat doc is right there. Does that mean I can get rid of this panel and kind of just pay attention to this panel because the chat's right there? I need to look at more how-to videos just because. Just because. Notes. When I was working on the episode from yesterday for bridges and what was it? Bridges and trains. I created some graphics to help myself visualize what I was thinking in my brain. It's just lines, you might think. Just lines did a lot of work. Just lines did a lot of work. Episode 67 notes, which means this is empty. Yep. Why is my name inside quotation marks on this note? Why did I do that? I'm sure it'll come to me. These were 62's notes. Ooh. I did a little bit of investigation because an interesting thing happened regarding the podcast amongst other stuff, and I was like, oh, I should probably do some investigating. And these are my investigation notes. We're gonna skip those. Just trying to do some story grounding here. Don't worry about that. Also, learning how to draw a spider web is a lot easier than I thought it was, and I'm very fascinated by how spiders build their webs now. More research required. That looks like a line next to new, almost making the word newel. I almost want to say it's one of the lines you do for page breaks, but I know myself, and that's definitely an error. I really need a typewriter. Community, it takes a village. Oh. Huh. I'm still trying to reframe or not reframe, but solidify my mission statement, my idea, my goal, my aim, my wish, my hope, into like one solid, easy to read like paragraph. Like in security and in other areas, even in the military, we have these things called standards of operation. And it's how, in a perfect world, the site would be ran, or vice versa, something to that effect. But it's kind of like how, or something to that effect is how I want to present my own, like, the Digital Quill. So I'm still working on that. And this is probably not anywhere near close, but my notes on the Digital Quill podcast and community, It Takes a Village stuff, this is interesting. Mission statement. The Digital Quill is your digital hub of central humanities. At the Digital Quill family, our core belief is people. Our statement is simple. It is the golden rule. Be neighborly and teach others. We believe we have the power to what the heck? That is a Z. Okay. We believe we have the power to utilize the internet in a way that benefits humanity in the natural past, present, and future. So, we believe we have the power to utilize the internet in a way that benefits humanity in the natural past, present, and future. That's not just including the natural past, present, and future for natural. That's including humanity. And then underscored is one love, which is a little different than what you might be thinking. Episode 63 notes. I've been listening to EDM philosophy. It's interesting. I have a fascination with EDM music, like electronic dance music, and yeah. It's interesting when you pair it with Alan Watts' voice clips, or any other philosopher who ever did voice recordings, or like vocal representation of their philosophies. Where was I on this one? Yeah. I see. That's also part of the book notes. And this is interesting. And by the way, this ended up becoming a show and tell of my notes because I'm trying to piece together my thoughts. I took the books that I had on my shelf and I was curious. I was like, well, book parts, how many of them and what are they? Afterward, forward, acknowledgments about the author in the front, about the author in the back, maps, book list, reviews, synopsis, quotes, chapter names, parts, acts, dedications, notes, epilogue, prologue, other so like group guides or questions. Sometimes books have like things for book clubs. Playlist, that's new, and warning, or like content warnings. Not as many as you'd think, which is strange in a way. Everything's strange to me in a way. But there are a lot of acknowledgement pages and a lot of reviews. There's a lot of authors on Twitter X, amongst other places, who have like a debate between whether or not you like the reviews on books or you would rather have the synopsis. I'm with the synopsis. The internet and like book columns and stuff like that were made for reviews. We don't need to put them on the books. We put them in a page, but like making it a part of the art, it's weird. It's giving strange energy to me, and I would rather know what the book is about than what people thought about it. If I want to know what people thought about it, I'm not going to look at the book. I'm going to look at people. I might be on my own in that opinion, and that is okay. I'll die on that hill. It's fine. Don't expect any reviews on any of my book pages unless I am told to by a publisher, and at that point I will probably laugh at them, walk away, and be like, you can pull my book contract because I told you from the beginning. I don't care. I will die on that hill. Money is not that important. Fame, not that important. My values when it comes to it being about the book and about the art and not about, like, I don't know, just meh. Trying to think to what to talk about. I have like a wealth of like podcast ideas in my folders on my laptop, but none of them are like concrete ideas. And I did have note cards similar to what I did one time when I recorded a whole bunch in 1 week, or a day actually. That was a day. I wanted to see what would happen if I increased the productivity level on days where I could record multiple times. Learning. Slowly, but learning. Streaming live, even with gaming, puts some strain on the laptop, but not a lot. It's mostly the programming that has issues. Which technically could be a programming issue within the computer itself, which means it technically could be the laptop. I'm just partial to it because it's my child, sort of. It's more like the most handiest tool I have for my career, and it's helpful, and I'm partial to it. My bad. Which means live streaming might be a off and on thing. Unless I could figure out ways to do things mostly in the cloud. Which might also be the thing, because I might just have to address the bit rate issue and it might fix that way. Don't you just enjoy listening to someone thinking out loud? It's great, right? I am learning a lot on the technical side that I didn't expect to learn. Actually, no, I fully expected to learn some of the stuff, but like some of it I already knew, and it's just reapplying or dusting off the knowledge that I already had, and I'm like, oh yeah, a book I haven't used in too long. Oh, some of that information's still relevant? That's neat. Weird, but neat. Kind of thought technology left me behind at one point, but it turns out that some of the stuff I knew from back then is still relevant now, and back then was only like 10 years ago or so. Between 10 to 15 years ago or so at this point in time. Yeah, by the way, if you are here, hi, it is that day I told you about. And I don't like this day, so that's why I'm enjoying learning something new, because it is taking my mind off of the things I don't enjoy. Which, honestly, I have no reason not to enjoy today. It's just another day. Just another calendar day. Not very... just a day. I didn't expect grief to hit me late. I never know when it's gonna show up. Not when it comes to grief. And last night, I was laying in bed, about to fall asleep. Trying to fall asleep. It's been kind of hard lately. I just end up getting tired enough that at some point my mind shuts off. But I was thinking about the book and my dad and how it's another birthday that he's not here for. And I didn't expect it to hurt because I'm like, oh, well, usually I'm like through with the pain by the time my birthday rolls around and it's like just another day. Like I don't think about it as much or as hard. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. Because I'm like on, 67 of this podcast, 68. And he probably would most definitely be retired by now. But he'd probably be working out of the home garage. It's the big moments you kind of miss in a way. The little things too. And it's funny because I didn't expect the pain. It doesn't ever really hit me this way. This late. And I do what I always do. Greet it like it's a friend. Hold its hand while it's there and hope it goes away quickly because it's the unwanted friend showing up to the door, but you don't want to be mean to them and be like, go away, leave me alone. You want to be like, hi, hey, it's nice to see you, I guess. Thanks for hanging around. Don't come again anytime soon. And yeah, usually the grief is done by August. Not this time, I guess. I wish it was easier. What I guess I really mean is not that I wish it was easier, but I wish I didn't have to carry it because of why. I didn't have a lot of good male figures in my life. Except for one. Him. And I remember every story my mom ever shared about him. For the most part. There are some I'm missing. Which is why I'm trying to find his family. Which I guess would be my family too. Maybe. And any person I date or come into contact with, I kind of use him as like the basis, I guess. Because Dad had been through a lot in his life. 4 marriages. Couple of kids that weren't his. Lost a son to a pretty brutal act of violence. He was a minor at the time, so it's not in the press, and it was in the 70s, so not gonna find a lot there. But yeah, my dad had been through a lot, and I know he wasn't always like the greatest shining example of a human being, but he loved his family a lot. Loved his mom, loved his dad, his brothers, his sister. And he loved my mom, as hard as that's hard for me to imagine sometimes. Even though I love her too. He was a good man at the end. I don't think we start off bad. I think we start off good. It's hard to imagine babies or little kids being evil. But when you become an adult, you start to have choices. And it's up to you when you learn. It hurts the most to know that he wanted to be a dad. Like a good dad. Because I never got to tell him that he was. And still is. But, I wish he got to be a dad for a little longer. Actually, this is probably a good time to share some poetry, because I have a letter. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I like this one. Yeah. Ooh, ouch. Yep, it's this one. Okay, found it. We're gonna screen share it now. This was a contest entry I made to write a love letter to something, not someone that you love, and I wrote it to grief. And even if it showed up on the eve of my birthday, I still love it. No matter how painful it might be. Writing with grief. Dear Grief, my oldest friend, I've known you quite a while. I met you when I was still just a child, in a hood I didn't grow up in, and a life of playing pretend. Dear Grief, I grieved my childhood. Dear Grief, I grieved my purity. Dear Grief, I grieved my dad, my family, my dog, and my kitty. Dear Grief, I ache and carry your love with me. For it is you that has taught me love. To love truth for truth's sake makes sense. But to learn to love you took ages. To love and to hold will always be better than to have not at all. Of course I love you, Grief. You hurt me, but it's a hurt that heals me. You hurt me, but it's a love that never leaves me. You hurt me, but it's okay because I love you. In your absence, I can smile. In your presence, I remember. I remember my dad, who was the best father. I remember my mother, who wasn't always bad. I remember my dog, who got me through 13 years, who I was with until the end. I remember my kitty and how she was so pretty. I remember my mission to help people heal and smile. Of course, I love you, Grief. I love you. Because even though I grieve and have grieved, I'm still here, able to share their stories and keep their memories. And yeah, I grieve my childhood, the one I didn't have, the purity taken from me, and the pains it may always bring me. But I love you, or I still love you, grief. I love you because of their memory. I love you because of what you've taught me. I love you, grief. Thank you for writing with me. Kind of wondering if the Unsealed will let me publish those in my own book. Might have to ask Lauren. I have a lot to ask Lauren, actually. Creates an email chain. Hey, this is going to be the Ask Lauren email chain just from now on. Anytime I have a question, it's going to go in here. Feel free to answer or ignore at your discretion. So yeah, that's how I'm doing on this day. And that's one of the reasons why I chose blue as the color to wear. Because my feelings are blue. My favorite color is blue, and I'm like 90% sure my birthstone is blue. My truck was blue. My tattoo has faded from pretty much black ink to blue. So, I mean, the coffee mug I drink out of has like a dark blue shade to it. The sky was blue. It's now like whatever the colors desert Arizona makes it look. So blue. Blue's not a bad color. Blue is supposed to be a calm color. And blue is really, really present in my life. My eyes are blue. Proceeds to open eyes really wide. I used to be able to not cross my eyes, but I might be able to now. I don't know. YouTube live control panel. Excellent. What do you mean excellent, YouTube? You were just telling me it was just good, and then you were giving me warnings. Oh. You know what, YouTube? Thank you. Thank you for being a platform people can have their voices heard, I guess. And thank you, OBS, for being a bridge between those platforms, I guess. And thank you, viewers and humans. Mostly humans, because I'm pretty sure you're humans, not just viewers, right? Just viewers equals bot. And bots don't have eyeballs. So, what fingers am I holding up? I don't know how cameras work. That's what I was waiting for. The warning. Oh, YouTube. YouTube. Oh, it's a separate panel inside OBS. That's kind of impressive, actually. And it's gone. Why? Why, though? What? There it is. Hello. And there's a second one. Oh. Let's see. Not overheating, so that's cool. It's all just program problems, which is definitely a problem of the system itself. Now you say good. You know what? We'll deal with you later. I have a lot of technical shit to learn. Looks down to see if I pass 10 minutes. I have a lot of technical stuff to learn. And with that actually being said, I want to get this stuff off my face and whomst. Ah, yes. Writing rooms are open. Thank you, friend. I like that there are humans who are writers, sharing writing rooms and stuff. It is nice. It is nice. Neat. Thank you. I didn't really have much prepared today. I was hoping for less technical difficulties, but I had a feeling they would happen anyway. So that's cool. That's fine. Whatever. This episode will be up on Substack at a later date. Probably up on YouTube as well as technically, I think Twitch calls it a video on demand, but like just their video. As always, humans of Earth, keep going. Don't stop, no matter what comes your way. And I'll see you next time for episode 69. I think it's 69. Was I correct? Hold on, I can verify this. Nope, that is not the right way. There it is. Yes, it is 69. I was correct. I'll see you next time for episode 69 of the Digital Quill Podcast. Thank you for joining me on the first live stream if you were here. If you were not here and you were listening to this, thank you for being here on the recorded version of this. Anyway, goodbye. See you next time. Be safe. Don't explode or whatever. And goodbye.